Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Let rain fall, let rain
And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. We're live here at the Laurel Park Paddock. I'm Stanton Salter, along with our odds maker, Keith Fustel. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. A couple picturesque clouds in the sky, but mostly clear and sunny here. We're fast and firm. What a day we had yesterday, Belmont Stakes Day. Huge crowd out here. How about the handle being up 1.5 million from last year's number?
Tremendous. And like I say, great to see the live crowd, too. The live handle,
Big
even
crowd.
Stronger in-state live handle. That's what you want. That's what you're trying to generate here in Maryland, and they're doing it. They're doing just that. I think that people are coming in. They're seeing the improvements. They're seeing what we've got, the product that we're putting out. The bettors out amongst the country, they're seeing what we've got, and we're becoming a very strong force out there in the market, no doubt about it.
Rumor is from Roger Plant Jr., one of the top drivers at Rosecroft. He was here yesterday with a big group from the Maryland Horse Council. Laurel Park, best crab cake, Maryland crab soup in town.
Really? Awesome.
That's in some tough company. So food and beverage doing a nice job. Big crowd here yesterday. We'll have a big crowd here today for Sunday brunch. 10 live races, 4 races on our world-class turf course. We're on the Kelso and the Fort Marcy today. There you see the Sunday brunch from noon to 4, $22 per person. If you like bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys, we have you covered with that as well. Let's talk about the Belmont real quick. Our main man, Graham Motion, he was in front, turning for home with the favored Irish War Cry, but Todd Pletcher, he's pretty good. He wins the Kentucky Derby in the Belmont this year, wins the Derby with Always Dreaming, gets to Belmont there with TATR.
Yeah, Irish War Cry, turn for home. Looked like he had enough left. We thought he'd be in that position, turning for home. He was clear. But TATR, talking about Roger, looked like one of those harness races. Just sat there, tipped out, and wore him down. Maybe got to a little bit of the better part of the racetrack. A couple horses just didn't fire at all. I thought Multiplier would run a little bit better. So really discouraged with some of the efforts. But for the most part, hats off to TATR. Got the job done, and we'll move on to the 3-year-old season in the summer and see how it develops.
Another nice 3-year-old up there that we know around here well, recruiting ready for Sagamore Farm. A good third, a very good third. He was in front, turning for home. He had to work to get the lead. I heard, I didn't see the beginning of the race, but I saw him in front, turning for home. It was a grade 2, going 7 furlongs. Maybe he's a little bit better going 6 furlongs, but still I think a very good third in the grade 2 of the favored one at American Anthem for Bob Baffert.
I think that was a real signal to me. 6 is his best distance. I mean, and I think even at 6, he can rate a little bit. He took some pressure early, kicked away, and like I say, the last 16th of a mile looked like he could have just completely thrown in the towel. He did not. He held on willingly for third. So I think we'll see him back in that 6 furlong. Not saying he can't win at 7.
Sure.
But, against the real heavy heads, 6 is his niche.
Grade 2, best sprinters in the country there. Talk about our races here real quick. Yesterday, what a phenomenal crowd we had, and we talked about the handle being up 1.5 million over last year. I think we were around 4.4 yesterday, just a few hundred shy of our handle from a couple years ago, and that's when you had the Triple Crown on the line with American Pharaoh. We also had a $275,000 mandatory payout in the Pick 6. They put about $800,000 into it. So we almost beat that handle. And Victor Carrasco with a big day. He had 4 wins yesterday, including winning the feature there yesterday. The featured race, the upper level allowance race, gone away for Augustin Stable and Michael Matz, a new course record on the Kelso yesterday, going a mile and a 16th.
Yeah, and Kieran, what do you have, 3?
Kieran had 3 yesterday.
Pimentel with a couple runs. And how about our pick 5s? The early and the late. Early pays $3,900. The late, $6,100, capped by a firster that paid $94 almost for the. I think it was $93.80 for Linda Albert. That was good to see.
How about that?
You just see what this place offers from a value standpoint for your bettors. Get a ton of bang for your buck. You got to do a little homework, but that's the challenge of handicapping. And then sometimes you're going to come up with huge rewards from a smaller investment. That's what we like about this product.
I saw Audrey Murray and Linda Albert at the paddock before the 10th, 11th race last night. I gave them both a hug. They didn't give me any tip there
No
on
tip?
Durango Girl, Maryland bred, first time started by Cherokee's Boy, bred by Audrey Murray, longtime owner and breeder here in Maryland. Good to see Linda Albert, good trainer, and she's a very good trainer. No surprise, there was a bullet workout there on the tab. Carlos Quinones, a good jockey. So if you had that $93 winner in the last race, I gave you a $6,100 late pick 5.
Yeah, and the right tactics. We saw yesterday this dirt course was playing a little bit towards the outside closers, and that nightcap, some very questionable speed types in there, and got the right trip, the right setup. It churned on nicely, stayed on the correct lead, and got it done at a big number.
All right, well, let's get right to today's action. We told you about Sunday brunch. We also have an amateur race here this afternoon, Race 3, the Fragentry International Federation of Gentlemen and Lady Riders races. They're going to have 2 races during the summer meet here. Today's the first of 2. It's going to be Race 3, a mile and a 16th on the turf, maiden claiming 16,000. You'll see the weights a little bit different. Weights are a little bit higher. The international amateur riders in town today here for Race 3. Now, coming up Saturday, June 24th, a huge Super Saturday of stakes action here at Laurel Park. Catch the Mid-Atlantic's hottest racing with 6 exciting stake races contested over Laurel Park's world-class turf course and dirt courses. This is Saturday, June 24th. This will be a monster day. We might do around, I'll predict around $5-6 million that day.
I would think, and we've got some of the Virginia bred races right in there, Stan.
Yeah, Edward Evans, sure.
Yeah,
yep, Ned Evans, long time breeder down there. White Oak Farm, Nellie Mae Cox, sure, all right, so we'll have a big crowd. The Virginia people, they love to come up.
They'll be flocking up here to Laurel Park, no doubt about it.
Yep.
It'll be a nice turnout.
All right, so that's coming up Saturday, June 24th. Let's show you, we have a few carryovers today.
Okay.
All right, let's show you those. Super High 5 carryover, a little over 2,100. Now, there's no Super High 5 in races 1 or 2. The Super High 5 will start in race 3. That's the amateur race. It's a little over 2,100 in that rolling Super High 5 carryover. The Rainbow Pick 6 carryover today starting in race 5 on our 10-race program. That's a little shy of 700 in the Pick 6 carryover. The late Pick 5, no carryover, paid 6,100 yesterday. Now that late Pick 5 starts in race 6 today. Both the Pick 5s here at Laurel Park, your best bet with the industry low, 12% takeout. Let's show you the track conditions. We had a fast turf course here yesterday, didn't we?
We did. I mean, it's 92 degrees out there right now, Stan. This turf course is baked a little bit, but very fair. We saw horses closing with a flourish. I mean, it was an honest turf course all the way through and through. The main track yesterday, hedged towards outside closers for the most part. But, we're fast and firm. Just a gorgeous day on tap at Laurel Park.
Let's show everybody the perfect weather conditions out here, guys. Show them the fast and firm track conditions.
Yep.
Okay, all right, we're working on that shot. Let's get right to it here in the opening. We're on the Kelso and the Fort Marcy turf courses here today. Race 1 will start on the dirt here for race 1, going 5.5 furlongs, claiming 11,000 straight 3-year-old fillies. No Super High 5 wagering in this race, as we had a few scratches. Scratch the 2, Kill Rush, and that's it. So we got a 5-horse field here in the opener to kick off the early Pick 5. I go with the 5 on top. Chips I included. I like the speed on the outside here for trainer John Salzman Jr. You get 7 pounds off with the apprentice Carlos Delgado. I like the 5 chips I included here. So do you.
Agreed. She's going to end up your favorite, Stan. Scratch the morning line favorite, the 2. Kill Rush. We'll wait for her another day. But chips I included. I like the return try at Pimlico. She was down inside. She went quick. Look at those internals. 22 and 4, 45 and 3 at Pimlico. Very sharp. Took all the pressure. Lost the whip late, but held on very well. I think Scarlett's Ransom to her outside is just going to go ahead and go. I think chips I included. She's rateable enough to go ahead and stalk and pounce. Brooks on Fire is the interesting one. I know she's getting a lot of play early. She'll float up. But go second time off the claim for trainer Billy Campbell, and this is a move that does well. Smaller sample, 2 for 7 the last couple years with a nice positive ROI of over $3. Brooks on Fire finished up nicely in that last race. Speed really didn't come back. I expect a little bit more late run in the one next street. She's gotten the best of chips I included before, but she had dead aim last time, Stan, and really didn't kick on. But Forest Boys fits her to a T.
All right, I think it's a Salzman exacta here. We like the same 4 horses, a little different order, but same top horse there. The 5 chips I included on top there in race 1 to kick off that early pick 5 there. Early pick 5 is a mandatory payout and an industry low 12% takeout. Now, if you didn't believe me about how beautiful it is today, I think we have the track conditions now. There we go, fast and firm, clear and sunny, not a cloud in the sky. Really, maybe a little one for decorations. That's it. But beautiful weather conditions. It says no humidity today.
No.
Nice and dry. There's a nice little breeze, so it's not too hot out here today.
No.
Beautiful Sunday afternoon of racing. Let's
head over to the see the pizza lady, grab a bucket.
grab
Can't beat the bucket of beer specials that we have in there with the pizza lady.
What's it? How much?
It's like $12 maybe for a
And-
bucket
and-
of
and-
5, 13. You
Can't beat it. And
Can't beat it. Head on out and enjoy the races out on the apron.
good pizza down there as well.
Exactly.
Pizza Lady Karen, one of the most popular people
Oh,
here.
yeah. Very colorful, real great woman. Yep.
All right, let's take a look here at the second race to kick off the early pick 4. No super high 5 wagering here in the second. Scratch the 4, 5, and the 8 in this race here. This race kicks off the early pick 4, claiming 7,500. I haven't won a race in 6 months. I'll go with the 6 on top. Make the rider Jevion Toledo aboard the 6'10s Wild for trainer Jerry Thurston. A good second at this level last out. That was in April, coming off a 4-month freshening. Now another little couple-month freshening. The horse is trained by Jerry Thurston, who does a nice job. You get Jevion Toledo aboard. I like the confident move up here to the 7,500.
Yeah, this horse, I'm wondering where she's been. A nice effort. He's got a little time to gather. Going up in class was maybe a little bit of a positive, like the protect move. Big scratch with Hunger coming out. Looked like he was going to go ahead and dominate on the front end. I think Great Smoke, once again, we talk about horses. Sometimes they may get a little bit discouraged. He's been facing the heavier heads in those races at Pimlico and at Laurel last time out. Baby Cat, he's faced him twice. Classic Wildcat, good horses. 2 races back, he was up on the lead. I don't think that's really his game. But now looking at this field, I think he's going to get a perfect spot just off of Cast of Doubt. The 3 horses shipper coming in for Aaron McClellan out of Penn National. I think Great Smoke stalks and pounces. This little drop is going to be a confidence builder for the 7.
I respect him. You get Julian Pimentel. He had a big day yesterday. Pimentel with 3 wins yesterday. So he'll get a good outside post, a 5-time winner here at Laurel Park. So I use him in my top 3. We both like the 3 here as well. Casted out, shipping down from Penn. It was a sharp win last out against Open Nickel Company in the slop. Tyler Connor, he was a good rider around here. Casted out, classy old 8-year-olds, made almost $400,000. So we both like the 3 there.
Yeah. And the 2 gets class relief, in my opinion, too, Stan. Moving down from those 16 conditioning optional starters, I should say. Hickory Hill, Magritte. And the 3-back try against Magritte was pretty good. I watched that rerun again this morning. This horse had to steady briefly into the turn and then shifted down inside against the grain of the racetrack. Still kept on willingly. Might want a little bit more flow, but this horse, this is a, sharp move down to this level, down to the 75 condition. This horse can be tough from just off the pace.
I guess I'm just taking a shot here with the 6'10s Wild at 12. I won't get that price now with the scratches.
No, you got an
still
8-time
good,
winner. I mean, this horse knows
winner.
how to win. Yeah.
No works on the tab since that race on April 15th, but you did see a work on April 8th before his last race here at Laurel Park. So you have to think he's still training here at Laurel Park for Jerry Thurston. So the 6, my top pick there. Keith going with the 7. Great Smoke there in race 2 to kick off that early pick 4. Let's turn the page here. Race 3. We get out to the Kelso turf course, going a mile and a 16th rail at 35 feet. Nice super high 5 carryover here in the 3rd race. A little over 2,100 in that rolling super high 5. Has a low 15% takeout in that super high 5, so don't sleep on that here for race 3. This is the Frigentry International amateur race here. You have riders from all over the world. We got might have some difficulties with some of the pronunciations because they're from literally all over the world here. This is a maiden claiming 16,000 filly mares 3 and up. Mile and a 16th on the Kelso. I go with the 5 here, Beyond Forever, aboard for Robbie Bales. The rider here, Bethany Bumgardner, I know her a little bit. She rode in the Maryland Hunt couple years. I think one year she either won it or was second in it.
Right.
That's a tough race to ride in, so she must be a pretty good rider. This horse in good form on the dirt recently, the Lone Turf. turf try, no good. But I'm just going with this horse because in good form on the dirt, and I know the rider.
It's peeked out on the turf course. Looks like a few of the ladies are out there doing their best Michael Dickinson. Maybe kicking the heels into that turf course, trying to get an edge and see what the best part of the turf course really is. They're going to be on the Kelso, down rail at 35 feet. Beyond Forever Stand, the 5. You kind of toss the lone turf try. This is out of a mare, Singing Laura, who was 5 for 16 going long on the turf and ran almost an 80 buyer. I'm going to toss that race. I think she is the one to beat. She's going to be the favorite. You're really disappointed. Major kind of a hang job over at Pimlico on the dirt last time, but she's going to be tough right back. I like Theta Smile, though. Guys, we got a rerun of Theta Soul's last race, number 1 for Kevin Boniface. You're going to see this horse really hampered at the break. We can roll it the Bay Filly down towards the inside, a little stumble, and then a little pinch and a steady, and that was just enough right there. The 2 horse that day, and actually a little bit ranked before angling in. I think this horse we're going to show one more time. Thanks, guys. Breaking out of the 2 position, a little hop, then a little pinch, a little rank to kind of get to settle early on, and coming to the top of the stretch, starts making a little bit of a move. You see out there in the white and the pink, shifts out, leaving the 3/16 pole. And then a little bit of a bobble coming towards the 8th pole, maybe switching lanes, a little uncomfortable on that softer surface, Dan. She wasn't able to sustain. I think this is second time blinkers. That's good enough. Second time blinkers. Not a lot of speed in the race. I think she's forward. Maybe Steph Lowe, the 3, goes out towards the front, but with a good break, Theta Soul on the little bit of the drop. I'm going to toss the last. I think this horse is going to be tough.
I remember the dam, Theta Smile. She was a solid upper-level allowance runner around here for the Bonifaces. This filly by Perfect Soul. I use her in my top 3. She's going to be ridden by Erica Taylor, and you have to think Taylor has been on the filly out there at Bonita Farm where she trains, and maybe she knows the horse. The horse has had some gait issues, some obvious gait issues in all 3 starts, so they have to get that figured out. Be second-time blinkers today. Hopefully this rider knows the filly, and they've got the gate issue straightened out.
I got a text early this morning from Frank Carulli out of Vegas. He sits and waits for this race every year.
Does he?
He's done his research. He gave me the high sign. We're good with Erica Taylor on the 1.
All right, good stuff there. So the amateurs there in race 3 on the Kelso. Let's turn the page here. Race 4, we kick off the middle pick 4 and all the multi-race wagers. They have been huge recently. So jump in on these pick 4s. The late pick 5 yesterday had 56,000 into it. Keith, you have a pick 4 ticket here. Let's take a look here at the middle pick 4.
We're going to try to attack it in a reasonable ticket. I think race 4 is one of the tougher races on the card. Only an 8-horse field, but any one of them can win. I'm going 4, 5, 6, and 7. I think Ice-T might slip through the cracks at a decent price. A couple good tries. I like this horse moving back up in distance. The 5-horse in race 5 is going to be my single. Indian Buck, scratch to go here. He loves these kind of races. 75 starter. He's a tough old veteran. 2 deep in race 6. We've got a firster coming in for McGahee. Forrest Boyce going to ride a really, really nicely bred horse by Smart Strike. And Waterhaven. I'm going to throw the 6 in here for Salzman. You don't see the Salzmans run a lot of these older horses, especially maiden special weights.
Right.
This might be all right. I'm going to throw this horse kind of an all-or-nothing type like I did. That's kind of the way we caught that early pick 4 yesterday with Trombetta's horse.
Right.
It got off at 16 to 1. I don't know how that horse went off at such a big price, Dan, but did. And 4 deep in race 7. I think we've got a vulnerable favorite in the 7, La Nina. Let's spread. We're going to use La Nina in there. I like some other price horses along the way for little $16 ticket.
I like your single there in race 5, Indian Bucks. He's a nice, consistent 7-year-old, 4-time winner on the grass here at Laurel Park. Jamie Ness, the trainer. Toledo had a big day yesterday, so he's back to Toledo and Carrasco. They're back in winning form. What a tough colony we have now. We got Toledo, Carrasco, they're winning again. Caramano, Sheldon Russell back. I know we lost Trevor for a few months, and we hope he's doing well. We miss Trevor McCarthy, but he'll be back later on this summer for this tough jockey colony. Let's take a look here at the 4th race. We're on the main track going a mile, claiming 11,000 straight 3-year-olds. I like the 3, one step closer. The combination of jockey Katie Davis and trainer Hugh McMahon, they've been red hot recently, 25% with a nice positive ROI, almost $6. This horse a sharp winner last out at a big almost 15 to 1 price in the mud going 2 turns at Pimlico.
Yeah, lifetime best. Speed was pretty good. Went back and looked at the charts on the 25th. This horse took a little pressure, went clear. here, I think he's going to even have a little bit more pressure, a little tougher time on the front end with the 4 Printer going to establish a good, honest pace as a winner over this course going a mile. But I think CB Bodemeister needed its last race. The 2-back drive was just too good. At any point, Trevor had just, whenever he wanted to say, let's go. The horse did, leaving the 3/8 pole and really kicked away nicely. Needed to last, kind of was up against it a little further back than I would have liked to have seen. I think he's a little bit closer, a little bit sharper this afternoon. Wears down the speed. Ice-T, I like as well as maybe your price shot, 6-1 on the morning line. Ice-T back to a mile after that 6-furlong race at Parks. This horse gutted out a good win against some key horses, 2-back. Moves into the pace. Is he going to be able to sustain? That's my biggest concern.
I use him in my my top 3 here. The 5 iced tea. I like the name on a nice warm day like this. Get a cold iced tea, help your handicap. And sharp win 2 starts ago, April. Maybe needed a race that last race up there at Parks. So second race off, a brief freshening here for trainer Donald White. I use that horse in my top 3. We both like the 6 here. The 8. I have the 8 in my top 3. Top 4 here on the outside. Can't make this up. Jen Miller had a win opening day here on Friday aboard for Wayne Potts. A good, decent third coming out of that same one-step closer race.
Yeah, he's a real kind of, tough horse to ride, it looks like. I've watched him. He's got a kind of a funky way of going a little high knee action. You really have to carry this horse home. He has to avoid any kind of traffic. He should be able to from out there, but he's going to need some flow up front, some quick, honest fractions to kind of help set up his late run. 3 Beans kind of laying in the weeds, a little drop. Little muddy lines the last 2, but the 3-back try breaking the maiden for 20 puts it there for Jerry Robb.
All right, so that's a nice open 11,000 claimer to kick off the middle pick 4. Let's get a quick commercial break here. When we come back, we'll start with the Rainbow Pick 6. That starts race 5 today. Our late pick 5 starts in race 6. Bunch of nice turf races today in those sequences. We'll start with that when we come back.
Equestricon.
Equestricon.
The first ever international racing convention.
The first ever. For the fans.
Meet the legends.
The breeders, the owners.
The jockeys like me.
The best of the industry.
Come celebrate racing at Equestricon.
Welcome back. Today, the race is presented by Fidelity First. We're live here at the Laurel Park paddock. Keith Fustel, I'm Stan Salter on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. A 10-race program for you today. Sunday brunch getting ready. We're on the world-class Kelso and Fort Marcy turf courses today. Nice little carryover in the Rainbow Pick 6. A little shy of 700. That starts in race 5. They'll put about 5,000 into it maybe today. You get all 6 winners. You can have a good shot taking it down. They almost hit it yesterday. We had some singles going into the last race for about a $2,000 pick 6 yesterday. So they didn't hit it. Carry over today. I have a ticket here in the Rainbow Pick 6. Starts in race 5. I'm going to go 5 deep here in this 7,500 starter allowance. 5.5 furlongs on the Fort Marcy using the 2, 4, 5, 6, 10 here in race 5. Then I'll go 5 deep here in race 5. Then I'm going 5 deep again in race 6. What a nice maiden special weight that is for 3-year-olds and up. 6 furlongs on the main track. Oh, you got a Phipps homebred in there, a Live Oak stud homebred in there. Don't forget about, you were talking about that John Salzman Jr. horse. That horse been working lights out. You get the Hall of Famer Edgar Prado aboard Waterhaven. How about the Tom Morley Elusive Quality Colt? What a nice race that is. So I go 5 deep there in races 5 and 6. Race 7, I'll go 3 deep. Race 8, I'll go 2 deep. Then I'll single race 9. That's a nice upper-level allowance feature on the turf. They're going to fight it out on the Fort Marcy 2 turns, rail at 87 feet. And I'm going to key on the Linda Rice 4-year-old by Scat Daddy, number 7, Forever in Love, with Horacio Caramanos aboard. A nice allowance win last out here at Laurel Park, right back in the same condition. So Linda Rice, 29%, with 31% with horses that have won their last race, 29% coming off a little brief freshening. So I love the 7, Forever in Love there in race 9. Actually, second second choice in the betting public. The Grand Motion horse, the 10 Tusk, will take a lot of money in there. And then I'll go see 2 deep there in the finale. So it's a nice sequence in the Rainbow Pick 6, and I have a Pick 5 ticket as well. All that money they put into the late Pick 5 yesterday, you got to jump in there. Let's take a look here, though. Race 5, 5.5 furlongs on the Fort Marcy rail at 87 feet. We'll have to kind of fly through these couple races, but I like the 5. I know you like the 5 here, Indian Bucks as well. 4-time winner on the grass here at Laurel Park.
Stan, he just runs consistently faster than all of these. The 7,500 starter, perfect for him. It's a great fit. He needed his last. Did a lot of chasing, some hard chasing of Wai May last time at Pimlico on the main track. A race was taken off the turf. Second back off a little freshening, and he's going to get the right kind of setup. Mr. Stream, I like the way he rated him last time, Mr. Stream. He had a little bit of finishing punch. I think he'll be a little bit closer to the pace. Silent Tail is going to be the major target. Patrick Noosh got this 9-year-old fresh, ready to go again. This horse will be ready with Cortez. Is going to be the one to catch, but I think Indian Bucks will have him in his sights and wear him down late.
Yeah, Silent Tail. Al Cortez, a good gate rider. This horse has some early gas from the speed. Coming back as a 9-year-old, Pat Noosh does a nice job there. I overlooked that runner. I'll put the 4, a big long shot for me here. 20-1 morning line. Number 4, the rest is history. Coming off a long layoff here for trainer Mike Juralis, and he can get a horse ready to go off the layoff. You get a good rider, Julian Pimentel, to take the call here. I know this horse likes longer, mostly on the grass, but the route to sprint stat here for Mike Juralis, his last 10 starters, he's 30% with a positive ROI. You see a nice bullet workout, you see a nice little maintenance half-mile workout here at Laurel Park, May 19th. I'll take a shot here on a long shot, the 4, the rest is history, getting up into the exacta.
I took a big shot on this horse prior to the layoff. Yeah, he's going to be in a little bit of a meltdown, but Mike gets these horses ready. You just route the sprint. He can get it done and get them done off time. I think put your seatbelt on, one of my favorites. You got to like him. He's where he likes to be. He likes to do that little circling move and makes a steady run. He's in good form last time. A little unfortunate, just missed by a nose.
All right, how about the 2? Mary's Honor stepped up to the Open 11 last out at over there at Pimlico. Got caught a little wide, had to break from the 10 hole that day. Doesn't have much early speed, so the horse either gets caught wide or down there in traffic on the inside. It's a tough race here today. 3rd race back off the layoff. You get Forest Boyce aboard the 8-year-old for Scott Lake.
Yeah, this horse is sneaky. Going to be an okay price. Maybe in that 8 or 10 to 1 range, goes outside to inside. Won't have to work as much. Had some speed outside to go ahead and draft right up into the flow of things. Could be very dangerous if within 3 or 4 lengths turn it for home.
All right, nice turf sprint there on the Fort Marcy to kick off the Rainbow Pick 6. Late Pick 5, they crushed it yesterday. Late Pick 5, what had 55, 56,000. Bet into that late Pick 5 yesterday. And there was a couple of favorites on there. You had a couple long shots to Durango Girl, 45-1 in the last race. You get 6,100 for the late Pick 5 yesterday.
And that last race was a major spread race. So if you could have kind of pieced together a couple singles along the way, just go ahead and hit that all button. Congrats if you got it.
All right, well, I have a ticket here for the late Pick 5. Let's take a look here. $48 ticket for me. I'll just go 4 deep here in race 6, using the 2, 4, 5, 7, going with the 2, 7, 8 there in race 7, 1, 3 in race 8, keying on the Linda Rice horse, number 7, Forever in Love there in the featured race 9. Then I'll go 4 deep there in the finale, maiden 25, Philly Mare's Mild Dirt. The 9 and the 8 will be your favorites in there. I'll throw a couple prices in there. The 3, not mine but ours, for Timmy Keefe, dropping from maiden special weight to maiden 25 today. Sheldon Russell gets aboard, 15-1 price there. That's a live long shot. I think number 3 in race 10, and also the 5, Fleet Flame, could be a nice price there, 9-2 Forest Boyce.
Yeah, I might have that 3 line a little too high in the last. And I went back and looked at that again this morning. Yeah, the drop down could be key, and was against the bias on its debut run.
All right, I like trying to sniff out those long shots.
You'll still get a square price. You're going to get a decent price on that horse. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look here. This is one of the features of the day here. You bet your pants here. The race 6, nice maiden special weight, 3 and up, going 6 furlongs on the main track. Some well-bred horses in here. I'm going to go with the 5 though. Mr. Smarty Pants, a homebred here for Live Oak Stud, 3-year-old by Congrats, trained by Mike Trombetta. The horse went off about 9-2 and a tough maiden special weight over there at Pimlico in the slop. Had to break from from the 3-hole. Decent third that day. It was a little wide, turning for home. A good third, respectable 62 Buyer speed figure. This is the first foal out of Miss Smarty Pants, who was 1 for 3, made about 40,000. The dam was bred by Live Oak Stud. The second dam, she was trained by Billy Mott. She was graded stakes place, made over 160,000. That horse also a homebred for Live Oak Stud. So this horse from a long line of well-bred Live Oak Stud horses. Second start today. You see a couple nice bullet works since that solid debut. 2 nice bullet works up there at Fair Hill. Julian Pimentel aboard. 6-1 price here on the 5, Mr. Smarty Pants. The second foal out of this mare as well. They must like this horse. These people know how to breed horses. The second foal is a full sibling. They went back to congrats after they saw this guy come out.
Yeah, this Miss Smarty Pants, the mare, she really showed a lot of ability in 3 starts. Unfortunately, her career cut a little short, but she looked like she was going to be any kind. I think this horse is going to move up Mr. Smarty Pants off of that muddy try, not just a little even late. This horse, you see the workouts moving forward. A couple other bullet workouts up at Fair Hill by the number 2 Satisfying comes in for the 5th stable. Shug McGahee doesn't win a lot with first-time starters, but here in Maryland, he's 3 for 6 the last couple years in maiden special weights, over a $3 ROI. This horse is going to be ready by Smart Strike out of Snooze. The second dam, I think, was a graded stakes winner, if I'm not mistaken. So the family lines are there. When he comes down here with these first threes, he comes down for a reason. He comes to win. And yesterday was a Friday. I look up on the board. I'm sitting there with Action Andy in the press box. He goes, "Hey, Orbs Fool Brothers getting ready to run. First-time starter. I think I should put up a couple bucks on him." Maybe. Horse wants to pay like $50 up there.
Where, up in New York?
Up in New York. This horse gets falls through the cracks. He just doesn't win a lot up there. But when he comes down to Maryland with these firsters, they're usually ready to roll.
And, of course, he's trained up there at Fair Hill here in Maryland. I respect the connections with the scratch of the 1 Lewisfield. The 2 Satisfying going to have to break from the rail, so that's a kind of a tough assignment for debut runners. But you get a top rider, Forrest Boyce aboard. Scratch the 8 and the 9 here in this race as well. Just a solid field, though. Let's talk about the 4 real quick. Self-start for trainer Dove Houghton, bred by the leading sire here in the Mid-Atlantic area. A jump start. This horse had a good second 2 starts ago back in February, going against maiden special weight, going 7 furlongs. Then had a little freshening. Had to go in a turf sprint. Maybe the dirt race didn't go or something. Went in the turf sprint. Didn't go too well in that race, but gets back to the preferred surface today. Blinkers go on. Steve Hamilton aboard. The 4 self-start, I think, live in here at a decent price.
Yeah, I agree with you, Stan. I was like, threw me for a little bit of a loop. That turf start, why there? The horse had run so well. Brings the horse back on the layoff, tries the turf. The blinkers go back on. This horse was up close to a pretty sizzling pace on the 19th of February. And with the scratch of Bronx Sandman, a couple of the other ones, this horse probably will be forward. Wouldn't be surprised to see this up right on the lead.
All right, nice group of maiden special weight runners. One of the features of the day there in race 6 to kick off that late pick 5. Be a strong handle in that race for sure. How about a couple of those races yesterday? The maiden 16 on the turf got over 600,000. You had that Maryland bred allowance race yesterday with a $500,000. Phenomenal handle yesterday, and we're expecting the same today here on a beautiful Sunday. Race 7 is going to kick off the late pick 4. We're going to go to the Kelso turf course, 5.5 furlongs, rail at 35 feet, claiming 16,000, 3 life. I'll go with the 2 on the inside. I'm not crazy about the inside post position, but I love the connections here. Horacio Caramanos aboard for Linda Rice. This horse, I think, dropping in class from those allowance turf sprint 2 starts ago to that turf sprint on the soft yielding turf course at Pimlico. Was a starter allowance race. I think getting a big class relief today. Just needs to get a good trip, I think, from the inside.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a give up. They've been frustrated. This horse ran pretty well back last summer with some trouble, was really impeded late, was making a winning move along the inside, and has come back. The 2 subsequent starts off the left, they haven't been as strong. I expected a little bit better run. I think this race is ripe for a price. You've got La Nina at a 9-5 morning line. This horse ran real big, 50,003 in life up at Belmont. Good number, 71. The winner came back to run an 84. Now suddenly we're back in for 16,000.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a little bit of a red flag for me. I'm going to use it tepidly in the multi-race wagers. I think you've got some price shots in here with the 1 Pea Patch Point. Goes first time for Ionati, used to be Kathy Dibb, and this horse was sitting perfectly against Open Company, then tried to go inside. I thought the outside was a little bit better that day. This horse is forward. The only other real speed type is maybe the 4 Greeley's busting out for Frock. So I think Pea Patch Point is going to be dead set, right up on the engine, ready to make a move, could steal it at a big, big price. Portico Sheriff for Kieran, fresh, ready to go. Kieran just on an absolute roll. This horse is good. Keys up against Mona Vista Crossing. Good race back in the fall of 2016. I'm not worried about the layoff. This horse is going to be fine sprinting today.
I think the 8 gets a beautiful trip in there. Make the rider Edwin Gonzalez there on the 8. Porte Cochero for Kieran McGee there. Nice turf sprint to kick off the late pick 4. Race 8. What a nice allowance feature here for Maryland breds. 3 and up, 6 furlongs on the main track. And like I said, we had a Maryland bred allowance race yesterday with a $500,000 handle. So this will be a live race here. 6 furlongs on the main track. Video spotlight here on the 3. It's the journey from the Mike Trombetta barn.
Boy, he's been knocking at the door the last couple, and just a brutal, brutal beginning at Pimlico on the May the 14th. We're going to see the horse on the rail. Head turn at the break, just was a little unprepared there. You know, we see this happen. It does. And just unprepared and bobbles inward, hits the gate a little bit, and forces his horse off stride. And we're going to pick it up again, top of the lane. Has a lot of work to do. Man, this horse almost got it done. Stan was able to kind of shift outside, get a little run, and just closes up the miss by about a length. Closing in, will he be mine, though? We're going to see him again today. He was dead sharp in that effort. Just a little unfortunate, though, for It's the Journey for trainer Michael Trombetta and R. Larry Johnson. I think today is the day with a clean trip. He's got some speed to run. He's got some good targets, and Grecian Prince will be out, and Will He Be Mine? I think his hand is forced again from the inside. Clean break gets the job done for It's the Journey.
I respect the connections here. The Red Hot, Pimentel, and Trombetta. This horse 5 for 9 in the money here at Laurel Park. So I use the 3 in my exacta. I go with the one though. Will He Be Mine? He's a hard knocking horse. He doesn't like to win too much, but he has some nice stats here at Laurel Park. 8 for 21 in the money. He is a 3-time winner here at Laurel Park. That was a dead game effort last out at Pimlico. Ann Merriman doing well. She had a nice win yesterday with Riley S. I should have had that horse.
I know.
I loved Riley S. in her debut at Pimlico a couple years ago when she went down, and I had her pick 3rd yesterday coming off the layoff, but she was ready to roll. So Ann Merriman, a good trainer, and Willie B. And they protected this horse for a long time in these allowance races. Nice Maryland bred first level allowance race today. Tough inside post, but if he can show speed like he did last out with the top rider Fergal Lynch aboard, I think it could be the day today for Willie Be Mine.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some other speed to the outside of him, and Louis Lunchbox as well. I mean, he doesn't necessarily. I've seen this horse come from just off the pace in the past too.
You gotta love the name there,
Louis Lunchbox.
Louis Lunchbox. That horse is in contention coming to the wire. Expect a good
call from Rodman.
Good call from Rodman there.
I know he's got something waiting for Louis Lunchbox.
Louis Lunchbox shipping in from Parks. That's a nice allowance race in the 8th race. All right, race 9 going to kick off the late double. Nice feature of the day here. Similar feature yesterday. Upper level allowance going 2 turns on the grass for the Philly Mares. They bet about $500,000 into it. So expect a strong handle here in race 9. They're going to fight it out on the Fort Marcy turf course rail at 87 feet, going a mile in a 16th here. 2 other than allowance, optional claiming $25,000. Let's show you Forever in Love back on April 15th here at Laurel Park for trainer Linda Rice, and this was against 2 other than allowance company, and back in the same condition here, but had to get up wide with a wide rally this day. Gets up by a neck over a tough field there. Catane ran very big. The horse that was 3rd would come back to win, so this was a strong race. Been freshened since this win. That's a hard-fought win. Wins by a neck there with Caramanos. Caramanos back aboard today for Linda Rice here at Laurel Park. They're 56% together with a positive ROI. You can't find a bad stat with Linda Rice. She was tied for leading trainer with Kieran for the spring meet. I'll get a decent price on the 7 Forever in Love because the motion runner, number 10, probably going to be the favorite.
Yeah, those 2 are going to battle for favoritism. Hot and Heavy was on the lead. Tusk showed that he can handle it. Doesn't need a major setup to get it done. Got a real good trip that day to get up. Has to overcome the 10 post. I think Tusk will be tough right back. But Forever in Love, you're talking about playing the conditions perfectly, Stan. Back into 2 other than, because those state breds, all those state bred wins don't hurt, right, against the condition. And Bump pinched at the break. We didn't get a chance to show that from the video last time, and he was just tenacious as could be between horses. He's going to be, like I say, 2-1, 9-5. Tusk getting some play down about 5-2. They're going to be shorter prices. But I think Lanier could go a long way.
I was looking at it wrong. I was thinking you had the 10 morning line favored, but I think rightfully so. You have the 7 morning line favored. I think that's the horse to beat.
Okay.
But if the motion horse isn't in here, you're going to get like even money on the Linda Rice horse. Now with the motion horse in here, you'll get a nice 9-5, 2-1 price there on a solid round. The motion horse will be dead game though. Yeah. That was a nice win here at Laurel against A other than stepping up here. 4-year-old by Tappet, well bred. Fergal Lynch just got to try to tuck in somewhere nicely on the clubhouse turn and not get called too wide there.
Yeah, that's going to be the key. I think Lanier goes a long, long way, stretching out. A big number 2 back on the main track in 89 and 83 against some really fast horses sprinting. This horse goes ahead and clears. I can't see anybody going with him early. He'll take him a long way. But highly prized. This horse is really sharp right now. I know numbers, he's going to have to step it up one more notch. He beat Silver Romeo. He's got to win 2 back in that condition race at Fairgrounds. But look, major improvements since being gelded and the Lasix going on. This horse is going to be tough. It's going to sit a great trip. I don't know if he's quite got that last punch as Forever and Lover, maybe Tusk, but he's going to set a perfect trip today.
It's a nice allowance feature of the day, going 2 turns on the Fort Marcy there in race 9 to kick off the late daily double. We get back to the main track here for race 10, going a mile for Filly and Mares, maiden claiming 25,000. I'm going to go with the 9 here. You're going to be a heavy favorite from the Trombetta barn. Big drop, I think, from the maiden 30 at Parks last hour. She was a decent third. Now second race back off that brief freshening. Julian Pimentel gets aboard. The horse will be able to stay out of trouble out there in the clear on the outside. Drop into this race, I think the 9, Strangers No More, be very tough in here.
Yeah, the winner of that race had been going back and forth in some state-bred allowance races and actually was faring okay. Was a short price, and this horse, that's not a bad effort. Third, only beaten 2 by that. Draws outside. I like to see a little bit more punch. Trying to figure out the flow of this race. There's not a lot of speed. I think Strangers No More should be fairly close, but I'll give the 3 one more shot. Maiden special weight down to the 25, down inside against some better fillies last time out. Fillies and Mares was dead against the grain of the track. It was not good on the 5th at Laurel on that sloppy seal surface. I think this horse can maybe get out, steal it. Another chance I will use into the mix for Shireen Bracho and Jesus Bracho. She's 0 for 27, but she is 14 times in the money. Tossed to last, and a lot of her Laurel tries are good enough to put her right there. She doesn't have to be far back either in here, Stan.
The 5, we both like the 5 a little bit here, 9-2. Fleet Flame here for Steve Casey. Good race on the turf last out. Maybe that woke the filly up a little bit, got her back in good form. Forest Boy stays aboard here. She's got a shot here stepping up in class for good connections.
She's up Face the Nation, Niami. Beautiful Night Sky went up to New York to win a state-bred race. And second time blinkers. First time blinkers on the main track. Should be a force, no doubt.
All right, so a nice 10-race card for you this afternoon on a beautiful Sunday brunch getting ready for you today. We're on the Fort Marcy and Kelso turf courses here. I'll be on with Gabby Gaudette this afternoon. Dave Robin coming up next. We'll have today's scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.